Welcome back everyone, Jared here, and yes, it has certainly been a while since I've made a video, but I just had to talk about this game I've been playing recently. I haven't done an episode of Retro Wednesday in quite some time, but this NES classic is one I know you're all going to love. Naturally, you all remember Project Blue, right? It went on to inspire legions of fans and countless copycats. No, you don't remember? That's bizarre, isn't it? Why don't you remember this bad boy? Well, maybe it's because it was released in 2019. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Project Blue is an NES game that came to life back in 2019 via Kickstarter campaign. The purpose of the campaign was rather unique though, as the game was already 100% finished by the time the Kickstarter launched. So why Kickstarter, you might be thinking? Simple. They wanted to raise money to manufacture actual NES cartridges. These came with a sleeve, an instruction booklet, and a box, just like the original NES games did. All the footage you're seeing here was captured on OBS using a ROM I purchased from itch.io for $10 American. The full version includes a level editor and a soundtrack, and that can be yours for $14 US. Now, if you own an EverDrive, like just about all retro fans do, just slap the ROM in your EverDrive and play it on your original NES or any number of other hardware options available today. What's really cool is that you can create levels, pop them on your EverDrive, and have an endless array of Project Blue at your disposal. And don't forget, you can easily share them with your friends online. Now there's a little bit more to it than just that, but there's an online FAQ that shows you exactly how to play your edited levels on the EverDrive. I should also mention that if you'd like a physical copy of a game, you can actually still buy a physical copy of the NES cart on Broke Studios' website for €50. Quantities are limited, so be sure to act fast before they're all gone. As for the core game, which is what I'll be talking about today, it was developed by Franken Graphics, also known as Ellen Larson, and Toggle Switch, and takes heavy inspiration from the likes of Mega Man and Super Mario Bros. Homebrew games on the NES are nothing new, but every now and then one comes along that absolutely knocks your socks off, and that's the case with Project Blue. There are 4 distinct areas and over 250 screens of action platforming goodness for you to sink your teeth into. I'm keeping gameplay limited to the first 2 areas of the game purposely as I don't want to spoil anything for those that are interested and want to check it out for themselves. Project Blue is set in post-apocalyptic Hong Kong and has all the tropes of a great cyberpunk game. Blue is an orphan street boy who has been kidnapped by an evil corporation and experimented on as part of a secret weapons project. He just escaped, and now Blue has to make his way across Neo-Hong Kong to find the evil ruler of this corporation and shut them down. There are 3 unique difficulty levels you can play on: normal, hard, and brutal. Some folks on YouTube already have brutal playthroughs with no damage. Well, let me tell you, they're way better than me. It's amazing to see how fast the retro community reacted to the release of Project Blue, and kudos to them for that. There are all manner of enemies, from mutant children to various mechanical creatures that want nothing but to see you destroyed. Blue can run, jump, and shoot a plasma discharge from his hand. I did say this was heavily inspired by Mega Man, didn't I? The normal mode gives you just enough difficulty where you make more and more progress the more you play the game. Every death is because of your skills, not some cheap tactic. While you start off with 5 heart containers that can be filled by finding little hearts from the various levels, you can also boost your life 1 full heart container at a time by finding the additional heart containers hidden throughout the various levels. Now, something important to note here. If you fully die, you can continue forever, but when you continue, you will lose any of the additional heart containers that you found, so you'll have to re-find them, but that's tricky depending on where you die and what level you're in. There's also an arm cannon boost which lasts for 20 shots and doubles your attack strength. There are also springboards to use, areas to glide in, swim, and so much more. There are a total of 256 screens of action that make this a fully loaded NES game. And what I love about it is that it is truly an NES game. This isn't on Steam or anywhere else, and the only place you can play it is on the NES or an NES emulator. And I absolutely love that because it's as authentic as it gets. The graphics are nice and varied and look like a late NES game, which I really appreciate because I know a lot of homebrewers kind of stick to the early NES games, whereas this one really looks polished and fits really nicely beside Castlevania 3 and Super Mario Bros. 3. I especially love the running water and the conveyor belts. It looks great. And while there's no parallax scrolling to be found here, I was very impressed by just how well the cyberpunk feeling and atmosphere shine through. The audio soundtrack is equally impressive, perfectly matching the look of the game. I really hope Franken Graphics and Toggle Switch work together again in the future, as this project truly came together. It's really impressive. I could go on and on about how much this little title surprised me, but I'll leave it here. If you enjoy the Nintendo Entertainment System and its library of awesome titles, and you're looking for something new, this is one you really don't want to miss. Considering how popular devices like the EverDrive are, I'm sure that more than a few of our viewers will easily be able to give this one a playthrough. The NES cart, like I mentioned before, is also available, which is kind of the more authentic way to play for collectors out there, but either way, I strongly recommend giving this one a play. It's one not to be missed.